Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Tonight, the Library of Congress is hosting a special outdoor screening of Shrek, which was added to its National Film Registry in the class of 2020. I spoke about the legacy of DreamWorks with co-founder Jeffrey Katzenberg, the former chairman of Walt Disney Studios from 1984 to 1994 at the height of the Disney Renaissance. Katzenberg joined us last year to discuss his now-defunct streaming platform Quibi, which earned 8 Emmy nominations this week despite no longer existing, making our conversation a fascinating time capsule.
Morning, Jason.
Hey, Mr. Katzenberg. Thanks so much for taking the time to call in.
I'm fine. It's just you. Please call me Jeffrey.
All right. Before we get started, first of all, this coronavirus thing is crazy. Are you staying safe? What are you doing for that?
Yeah, I think today may be day 26. So like everyone else, I've been sheltered in place. Just my wife and I together, and kind of hunkered down, and I've been working super hard, so it's been a nice distraction, to be honest. And it's a challenging time for everybody and all of us, each in our own way.
Absolutely, and that's what makes your new venture here, Quibi, so exciting, because it's a mobile streaming thing we can do from home. So just start off and just give us a description. What is Quibi?
So Quibi is a super premium subscription service only for your phone, with tons of new original content made by the very best talents and creators in Hollywood. It uses a brand new technology that makes shooting content for the telephone look beautiful in a way that you've never seen before. So full screen, beautiful video, whether you're holding your phone vertically or horizontally. We have the best talent in Hollywood making content for us, like I said. So Jennifer Lopez, Will Smith, LeBron James, Reese Witherspoon, Chrissy Teigen, Chance the Rapper doing a new version of Punk, Spielberg, Guillermo del Toro, Kevin Hart. I could go on and on. It's an endless list, fortunately. So there is something for everybody. 500 original episodes, 50 series. And all different types and sizes. So there are movies and chapters, and everything is less than 10 minutes. So this is really made for your in-between moments that you have in your day. I think it's unlike anything anybody's seen before, and for the next 90 days, you can get it free.
Awesome. Take me into the idea behind making it. I mean, this is exclusively, this is meant for your phone, the palm of your hand. That's where society's going. Was the idea sort of that we're not only technologically we're moving towards, handheld stuff, but attention span wise, right? Is that the idea behind short form content?
I think it's a little, so all I can do is say to you that for me, like I think many of your listeners, is that, for the last 6, 8, 10 years, I've actually been quite enamored with and entertained by the stuff that I've been able to watch on my phone. So whether it's YouTube or Snapchat or Instagram TV or TikTok, I mean, these are things that are actually fun, and I've had a really good time with them and continue to. But I come out of sort of more traditional Hollywood storytelling, and so the aha moment for me is what if we could bring our form of storytelling to this new form of watching? So could we make content for people who are on their phone, on the go, and just make it beautiful and that it is real narrative storytelling that's not better or worse than what you're seeing on these social media platforms. It's just different. So I love what they're doing, but I actually think this is just unique. And so here we are a year and a half later, and as I said, the most talented people in my community of, making, the movie and TV animation community have all turned out and made, I think, really, really fun, really entertaining content to be watched in a similar way, on your phone, on the go.
You mentioned that it's under 10 minutes, TV shows and the like. You mentioned something interesting about that there are movies broken up into chapters. How does that work?
Yeah, sure. So, we have, we're bringing back a new version of The Fugitive, and it stars Kiefer Sutherland and Boyd Holbrook. And it's that same concept of an innocent accused of a crime they didn't commit. They have to prove their innocence before, the police get them. And it's a cat and mouse story, and this new version is set here in Los Angeles, and a new storyline for it. But it's told in 14 chapters, and each chapter is between 6 and 10 minutes long, and so there's sort of think of it as a beginning, a middle, and an end in each chapter, and each chapter ends on a cliffhanger that makes you want to come back the next day for the next chapter. And over the course of those 14 chapters it's a 2-hour movie.
Gotcha. And then you can just watch them back to back to back, I guess.
You can, but most people, I think, will come back each day for the next new chapter, because we publish an episode every day. You can wait and binge it if you want to, but mostly this is about filling those in-between moments that you have during your day. If you're going to want to sit down and watch an hour or 2-hour show, I think you tend to do those things on a TV set or a laptop. You tend to do those at night or on the weekend. And so this is meant to be for all these in-between moments that we have in the course of our day, which even now, with us all sheltered in place, we have lots of in-between moments, in between, homeschooling our kids or, doing the chores or actually, your office work if you're working from home. So all of us have lots of in-between moments, and that's what we're trying to give people, something super quality and premium for those moments.
Awesome. Now, how did you come up with the name? How did you come up with Quibi? What does it mean?
Well, quick bites. If you take the words quick and bite and you sort of compress them together, you get Quibi. And so that's sort of where it came from. And of all the hard things that we had to do, this one was actually pretty easy.
Gotcha. Quick bites. Okay. All right. I'll make sure to pass this word that that's what it means. Obviously, you ran Disney Animation and DreamWorks for a while, the animation departments. But take me back in, you probably presided over the greatest, in my opinion, stretch of Disney movies there with the Renaissance. When you entered in the 80s, is it true that the animation department was, on the ropes, almost bankrupt, until you had the idea, let's make these things like musicals?
Well, unfortunately, that was Walt Disney's idea, not mine. So, yes, the studio was in pretty dire shape when Michael Eisner and I showed up there in 1984, and they really hadn't had much of a success in animation and hadn't made many, and the ones they were making actually were not among the best. And so, my thing was just to return back to the roots of the company and to the founder and really the entrepreneur that created animated movies, which was Walt. And, fortunately, there was a very rich archive of his work product that was a roadmap for me and, more importantly, for, the rest of the animation company. And so we literally just went back to, following what was, beautifully laid out, almost a prescriptive path to making animated movies. And, I think, took us a while, but we sort of found that groove. And so Roger Rabbit and, Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King and, the sort of string of movies came out of that.
Awesome. And then real quick, when you jumped over at DreamWorks with Spielberg to make Shrek, and things became a little postmodern. That was sort of some fractured fairy tales going on.
Well, again, being in partnership with Steven Spielberg and David Geffen was, a dream come true. And so, it's that thing as I spent a decade at Disney and then 2 decades at DreamWorks and, had a lot of fun making those, Shrek and Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon and Puss in Boots and all of the, wonderful movies that came out of those years, and very rewarding and very exciting. But, that chapter came to an end, and, I wanted to start over and do something, new. And for me, Quibi is the next big opportunity, and I hope maybe you and I can have a conversation 10 years from now, and, you'll be hopefully as entertained and inspired by the creativity and uniqueness of what, we're going to do in the next 10 years is, those 10 years at Disney or 20 years at DreamWorks. That's my hope. I'm so much more interested in what's in front of me than what's behind me.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll hold you to that, and we'll do a Quibi retrospective, except we'll have to do it in 10-minute segments, all right, sir?
There you go. Perfect. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. Jeffrey Katzenberg, everybody.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for joining us on Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.